Hello world, my name is Woodrow Willis coming to you live from Mom's Universe, and today we are doing a non-spoiler review of the Avengers Infinity War.
I just want to say thank you.
So the first thing I want to say is that I want everyone out there to avoid watching any videos whatsoever concerning the Avengers Infinity War. I know that sounds counterintuitive since I'm making a video about this, but I really do not want you to have a moment spoiled because you watch something. There are so many videos out there that say they're non-spoiler, and yet they still drop some information in there that you would have liked to see firsthand when you saw the movie for the first time. So this video here is going to be very broad and very vague in some aspects because I really do not want to spoil this for you. Later on, I will do a spoiler-filled review and you're more than welcome to check back in, but if you got any doubt whatsoever, turn away now and come back later. I've even got notes here that I'm going to refer to constantly throughout this video just to make sure that I'm keeping on track and I am not spoiling anything for you. So the Avengers Infinity War has finally dropped, and after 18 movies of the Marvel Universe setting up this showdown with the mad Titan Thanos, we have now come to the conclusion of what all that action, strife, and activity was all about. So first we're going to talk about some of the actors. Now we're not going to get too down and dirty into this because I do not want to leave out a character and you assume that character is not in it, or vice versa. So we're just going to talk about the actors in general. Did they do a good job? I think for the most part they did. Some of the artists are going to surprise you at some of the emotional range they're going to pull out of you in this movie. You're just not going to expect them to go there in some places. And in other characters, well, they kind of fall flat. But again, you got so many characters and so much time that Marvel is really going to count on you that you know something about these characters, whether it's from the MCU that they established or the comic books themselves. Anthony and Joe Russo. Now you may have heard of them from You, Me, and Dupree, the 2014 Captain America Winter Soldier, as well as Marvel's 2016 Captain America Civil War. So they've got a little bit of practice in this whole MCU universe, and I gotta tell you, when you watch this movie, you're gonna see that come out. They've definitely learned some of their lessons from their former movies, and they've definitely applied those lessons in this movie. And that's always good to see. You wanna see growth as when you're watching people put on productions, and in this case, the Russo brothers, you definitely can see that on display. You can imagine that the action in this movie is pretty off the chain, and it is. This is definitely not a slow-moving movie by any stretch of the imagination. Matter of fact, I will compare it to a roller coaster. There's some highs and lows, but regardless, you're moving pretty fast, and when there are slow moments, you know that anytime something's gonna drop and things are gonna get real interesting. So overall, I really enjoyed the action of this movie. They gave some time for character development, which, considering the pace of this movie, is pretty impressive. And of course, there are some characters that you would like to see more of, and maybe some action sequences you would like to see some different vantage points of. But overall, good to go on the action. A movie like this got CG all over it, and it definitely does. But for the most part, the CG was good to go. There was only one or two scenes where the CG looked kind of wonky, and we'll talk about that in the spoiler reviews because they're pretty amusing, but overall, they did a pretty good job with the CG. Without going into the locations of where some of these scenes take place, the cinematography was pretty good. You could tell they put a lot of effort into the different shots, and it really pays off in the end. I really enjoyed the score of this movie. In many ways, it kind of made me hark back to like the Indiana Jones, Star Wars, you know, those big orchestral just showpieces, you know, with the violins and the horns and the drums. Really good to go. I was very impressed by this. I think they did a really good job of it. At some scenes, it actually made me even think about Star Wars and Indiana Jones, and I'm not gonna say that's a bad thing, but it definitely has that over-the-top, awesome thump that you would want in a movie like this. Well, it's ratings time here at Mom's Universe, and I'm going to give this movie an awesome balls. Yes. Wow, lately we've been giving out a fair amount of awesome balls, which just tells me the quality of the movies are either A, improving, or we're doing a much better choice of picking movies. I really enjoyed this movie. I actually saw it twice because there was so much material and it went by so fast, even with a 2.5 hour runtime, that I wanted to make sure that certain things that I thought were correct, some of the conclusions that I think I'm coming to make sense, and then also to look at some of the other different characters and other different parts of the scene, because again, things are going by so quick that if you're focused on one part of the scene or one character, you're totally missing out on something else. So it does have that rewatchability because so much is happening all the time. I really think you'll be happy if you decided to go see this movie. The 2.5 hour runtime really does go by fast, and that's even with me seeing it twice. So check it out. I think you'll enjoy it. If you are a fan of the Marvel Universe and you have kind of watched all of these movies and you're wanting to see where they go, then this is a pretty nice bow on all of that. Will some of the things that happen, will they be undone? You know, because Marvel and basically all the comics have a very good way of changing things and bringing things back. Sometimes they make sense, sometimes they don't. I don't know. But if things just stay the way they are, this was definitely an enjoyable series, and it opens up a lot of avenues going forward. So where does MCU go from here? Well, that's a video for another day. I'm actually thinking about doing a live show with us just kind of going about that brainstorming. If you've seen it, it's definitely going to be filled with spoilers, so don't watch it if you haven't already seen it or you don't want the movie spoiled for you. But we're basically just going to talk about all the different things that took place in the movie and where can it go from here. There's some very interesting rabbit holes that this movie can take, what this universe can take. So I'm looking forward to seeing what everybody thinks. Well, thank you for joining us here at Mom's Universe. Again, my name is Woodrow Willis, and as always, coming to you live from Mom's Universe. Definitely check us out. We got a lot of other videos here going. We got a stream on Twitch where we play games, and we also do live reviews and sketches. So we got a lot going on here at Mom's Universe, and we really hope that you tune back in to take part of the fun and festivities here at Mom's Universe. Thank you, and later. I'm with you. One of them, and it just popped in my head while you were talking, that got me hyped up every time it happened. When the Black Panther's bodyguards, when they're getting into their fight scene,
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about getting hyped.
I love that.
That music, when that came on, I'm just like, I'm looking for a spear. I'm jumping up and I'm finding some bad guy to go after. Got me hyped up every time. Really amazing. I definitely, as I'm trying to going to the gym and working out all that stuff, I'm gonna have that plan and just getting hyped up in there. They're like, what's wrong with him? I'm like, I'm in Wakanda. Wakanda forever. Exactly. They're gonna be like, Woodrow, calm down. In space, no one hears you scream.